What if Africa didn't exist? Not the continent, not the people, nothing. It sounds impossible, almost unthinkable, right? But let's imagine for just a moment a world where Africa never exists. No pyramids of Egypt, no drums of West Africa, no Mandela, no Haile Selassie, no Wakanda, even in our imagination. The world would be a completely different place, culturally, politically, and even biologically. And the truth is, you might not even be alive. Africa is not just another continent. It is the continent, the beginning. Every human being on earth today can trace their origin back to Africa. Without Africa, there would be no us, no migration out of East Africa, no evolution that led to modern humans. The story of humanity would have ended before it even began. But let's say somehow people did exist without Africa. The world would still be missing its heart. The cradle of civilization in the Nile Valley would be gone. The kingdom of Mali, created Babu Empire, Great Benin Empire, and entire chapters of human history would be erased. Think about it for a moment. No libraries of Timbuktu filled with wisdom, no ancient rock paintings tell the story of our ancestors. History, as you know it, would be cut in half. But Africa is not just about the past. It is about what the world wants from it. Without Africa, there will be no coffee fueling your mornings, no cocoa for your chocolate bars, no diamonds, no gold, no oil. In fact, half of the engines of the modern world would simply stop. Every great empire, from Rome to Britain to modern superpowers, relied on Africa's resources. Without them, their rise would have been slower, weaker, maybe impossible. Culturally, the world would have been silent. No jazz music, no reggae, no hip-hop, no Afrobeats, because every one of these sounds has roots in Africa. Without Africa, the rhythm of the world would vanish. No drums from Ghana, no dances from South Africa, no voices from Nigeria, no Rastafarian beats from Jamaica. Even the Brazilian samba and American blues would never exist, because it is the African people who carry their rhythms across oceans, and without Africa, the African people wouldn't have been alive to carry them. Now here's where it gets even complicated. Without Africa, the world would face chaos. The landmass itself is critical. Africa controls the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, and the passage between the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Without Africa, global trade routes would collapse. Europe, Asia, and Americas would be cut off from one another. The modern economy as we know it would be gone. And politically, without Africa's 54 nations, the United Nations would shrink by a quarter. The balance of global power would shift overnight. No African Union to stand as a voice for the continent. No Nigeria as a giant of Africa, the most populous black nation. No South Africa as a gateway to the South. No Egypt bridging Africa and the Middle East. Entire regions of influence would disappear, leaving Europe, Asia, and the Americas probably for dominance. But perhaps the greatest loss would be human. Over 1.4 billion people today live in Africa. The population would have been gone. There would have been no Mandela, no Shino Achebe, no Wole Soyinka, no Miriam Makeba, no Kenyan runners to write to Olympic history, no Nigerian entrepreneurs building Africa's Silicon Valley, no young Africans reshaping music, fashion, and technology across the globe. Without Africa, the world would lose its future. But Africa does exist. And because it exists, the world is richer, louder, brighter, and more alive. Africa gives humanity its roots and its wings. Its people drive the fastest growing cities, the youngest populations, the boldest ideas. Its culture shape global fashion, food, and music. Its minerals power the smartphones in our hands. Its art reshapes imagination from Lagos to Los Angeles. And yes, some African countries struggle with poverty, corruption, instability, but even through that, it creates, resists, and dreams. And every day, Africa's voice grows louder on the global stage, not as a victim of history, but as the author of its own future. So what if Africa didn't exist? The truth is, the world would collapse. History would have no beginning. Global trade would have no routes. Music would have no rhythm. And humanity would have no soul. Africa is not just another continent. It is the backbone of life, the heartbeat of culture, the root of civilization itself. Without Africa, there is no world. And maybe the question is not what if Africa didn't exist. Maybe it is how much greater has the world become because of Africa. What do you think about it? Can you share your thoughts in the comment below? Thank you.